want to publicly say that we are regretting our votes at this point. Okay, y'all, I never thought I'd say this, but here in Huntsville, Alabama, we are certainly regretting our votes for Trump now.
We begin today's show looking at the spate of racist text messages referencing slavery that were sent to Black people across the United States starting the day after Donald Trump's election victory.
The MAGA supporters never thought like it will come to this point where karma's caught up with them. When they were, sending all these text messages, they never thought that it will, cost them. Now, I want us to watch these videos of them, regretting, and then later on, I'll be reacting to it and then sharing my thoughts on it later on. So make sure that you watch to the very end, and also do like the videos, do share the content, and don't leave without subscribing. If this was your first time, in this place, do subscribe to the channel, and you make sure that you turn on the notifications so that you get notified whenever we release any kind of video. Let's jump in.
We begin today's show looking at the spate of racist text messages referencing slavery that were sent to Black people across the United States starting the day after Donald Trump's election victory. People in New York and Alabama, in California, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia, including students at historically Black universities and even middle schoolers as young as 13 years old, reported getting a variation of this message that was addressed to them by name. Quote, "Greetings, William Hines. You have been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Please be ready November 7th, 2024 by 5 p.m. sharp with your belongings. Our executive slaves will come to your address in a Black SUV. Be prepared to be searched down once you've entered." A similar text message sent to a man in Charlotte, Virginia read, quote, "Greetings, Samuel. You've been selected to pick cotton at the nearest plantation. Be ready at 12 p.m. sharp with your belongings. Our executive slaves will come get you in a brown van. Be prepared to be searched down once you've entered the plantation. You are in Plantation Group W." Monet Miller described her reaction when she received the racist text message.
I immediately texted the number back. Who is this? Oh my God, profanity. And then I even tried to call it. And that's when I found out it was like from a fake text, one of those fake numbers. So it had already been discarded.
The FBI and FCC, that's the Federal Communications Commission, say they're now investigating the racist text messages, and the source remains clear. The Trump campaign remains unclear. They just know it comes from Text Now. A Trump campaign spokesman said it, quote, "has absolutely nothing to do with these text messages." This is Georgia's NAACP president, Gerald Griggs.
Our response is to remind the young people where they come from, who they are, and that we do not sit back and allow people to threaten us without a response, a nonviolent, peaceful response, but a forceful response, that this is our country. We're not returning to any plantation. We built this country. We'll continue to make this country move forward and live up to the promise that it gave all the citizens.
Messages are deeply disturbing, right? As you said earlier, children as young as 13 have received these messages across the nation. I believe across 32 states. This is a disturbing message to receive shortly after the election, right? But the sad part about it is that this is only the beginning. When we see what's happening in this newly elected administration, we've seen this before, right? The stripping away of diversity, equity, inclusion, the stripping away of our rights, right? Messages like this continue to set a precedent in terms of racism in America, in our schools, and in our phones. It's important for us to be able to protect our young people and allow them to understand that they deserve to be in those spaces, that they are a part of our community and our culture, and they're a part of what allows us to propel our for our future.
Auntie Bev here with another word to help you build your vocabulary. The word is anathema. It's a noun. And anathema means a strong hatred for something or someone. Using it in a sentence, I would say, text messages filled with anathema were sent out to hundreds of high school and college students, including young people I know. Anathema, a strong hatred for something or someone. Add that word to your vocabulary bank and make it your time, your shine. Auntie Bab speaks.
Yeah, we voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. We live in the Florida Panhandle, and we thought that this would be good for our business, but we're finding out now that we were wrong, and I want to publicly say that we are regretting our votes at this point. My husband and me own a construction company, and we literally do not have workers anymore. Most of our workers are from Mexico, and they're good, hard workers. I talked to a few of them, and they said they were just too scared to come back to work because of all the raids. Our construction company's likely to go out of business now, and we don't know what we're going to do, but we're never voting for a Republican again. Ron DeSantis and Trump have been passing laws that negatively affect our business, and I just want to say that I'm sorry for voting for him. I grew up Republican, and it's all I've ever known, but now I can see that me and my whole family have been very wrong about this. So we hope that 2026 comes and we can take back the House and the Senate and stop him from what he's doing. There's a special election coming up in Matt Gaetz's district, and we're going to do everything we can to advocate for a Democrat taking that seat. Okay, y'all, I never thought I'd say this, but here in Huntsville, Alabama, we are certainly regretting our votes for Trump now. Look, y'all, we just got this letter from the electric company that says because of a Trump executive order rolling back Biden-era legislation that our electric bill is going to go up $100 a month because of what Trump did. Now, this man ran on bringing prices down for us, bringing grocery prices down, bringing energy costs down, housing, insurance, and none of that has happened at all. This is literally crazy. I mean, it's almost like the Democrats were telling the truth the whole time and the Republicans have just been lying nonstop. I know that's completely crazy to even say because Republicans have always been a beacon of truth. But yeah, this letter has me so pissed off that I'm never going to vote Republican again. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure we flip the House in April. That's what we need to do now because Republicans have just been lying to us to get our votes. Isn't that crazy?
I didn't know that he was going to take my husband's tractors away. Also, I did not know that it was going to mean that my little boy was not going to be able to go to Head Start no more. And then I did not know that we was going to be out all of the cashes from the food stuff. I did not know we was going to be losing that money, okay? We need it. And then I heard that they was going to mess with Papa's Social Security. And this is just a little bit more than we can stomach around here, if you know what I mean. So I don't know who we need to call to fix this. We need to call somebody and talk to the manager.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now. I'm no longer rocking with Trump.
I used to be a MAGA Republican, and now I've turned blue. And it makes me emotional to know that I ever fucking stood by idly and blind and let that shit happen.
Because I know that I have been a Trump supporter, and I can no longer say that I am MAGA. And
I regret my vote for Trump.
I voted for Trump. I'm done. I don't have any more resilience in me.
Well, y'all, I never thought I'd say it, but I'm gonna say it. I regret voting for Donald J. Trump. I regret it. I regret it. I can't believe it. He is getting rid of the USAID. These people were literally making it so that people in Arab countries that throw gay and transgender people off of buildings, he was, he got rid of the program that was teaching them to have tolerance for those people. The USAID was spending millions upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to try to integrate transgenderism and all that into their daily life. We were spending millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to teach diversity to Middle Eastern countries, y'all. I mean, are you for real? And now y'all are just going to get rid of it? Y'all are just going to get rid of it like that? You don't care if people that are gay and transgender are getting thrown off buildings in those countries. Y'all just don't care. And now I can't believe it, but I regret voting for Donald Trump. I can't believe I voted for a man that does not want to fund gay and transgender rights in other countries. I don't get it. I don't get it. They're just going to continue to throw gay people, transgender people, queer people. They're just going to continue to throw them off of buildings. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. We need to spend millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to try and get them to change. Will they change? Probably not. But the millions and millions of dollars that we're throwing at them, it could make a difference. You don't know. You don't know. It could make a difference. It could make a difference. But now we're never going to know. We're never going to know because Trump and his minions and that Elon Musk, who nobody voted for, by the way, okay, is just taking the USAID and throwing that money, I don't know, into something that, I don't know, makes sense. Like what? They're going to use that money to help homeless veterans or something? We don't need that over here. We need to fund diversity in other countries in the Middle East. We need to fund that. Why are we worrying about our veterans here? Why are we worried about drug addiction here? Why are we worried about anything here in the United States when we can be giving all those millions of dollars to the people in the Middle East to stop them from throwing gay and transgender people off of buildings? I never thought I would say this. I never thought this day would come. I really didn't. I mean, I thought I knew what I was voting for, I thought I knew. But Donald Trump, man, he's just out of control. He's out of control. He's trying to save money for the American people by taking money away from organizations that are just giving our money to, they're just trying to diversify. They're just trying to diversify. They're just trying to make it so that gay and transgender people don't get killed in their native countries. I mean, come on. Come on. If we don't do it, who's going to do it? I can't believe I'm saying this. Donald Trump, how dare you? How dare you stop spending those millions? How dare you stop spending those millions of dollars to try and help those people not get thrown off of buildings when you could be helping? I mean, are you kidding me? And now you're trying to use that money here to help people here? I don't get it. I just don't get it. God, you're such an evil, evil man, Donald Trump. And Elon Musk, don't even get me started, okay? Don't even get me started. All I could say to you is, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you.
I usually say most of the time that this life is full of energies, and whatever you pump out, that's what comes back to you. If you pump negativity, that's what you get in return. And I guess this did not stick well in the ears, or did not get too well in the ears of MAGA supporters. Remember, in the first place, before Trump got into power, they did say that he was a leader that was going to transform their lives, that was going to stand with them. And I guess I believe they stood with him because he looked like them. And even when the black people tried to tell them, you don't need to vote for Trump because these are his policies. And if you look at the policies that Trump, represent, they are going to harm you in one way or another. In the first place, he was to go and deport the immigrants. Remember, these immigrants support the economy. They are workers in those companies. Those companies, rely on their labor. And so what happens if he deports them? Now these companies are going to lose workers. And that's what happened just the moment Trump deported them. And you saw later on, he was trying to, call them back and tell them, come back to our country and work. And now I could see him lie, behind this lie of, you're coming back in the right way. You're coming back in the right, manner. And so you get to ask yourself, what is this right manner? He doesn't want to accept that he messed up, and it's high time that he cleans. He gets to clean the mess. Now all this affected the very MAGA supporters. Remember here, blacks were not affected in any way, and these were some of the policies that he represented before he got into power. And he told you that I'm going to deport immigrants before he got into power. Now you could see even for the scenario that happened just in 2025, when he started supporting Argentina and started a war between China and United States. Guess who got to face the consequences of that war? It is that very common citizen, and to be specific, that MAGA supporter. Because for black, I believe they were so prepared to this. They knew that this was coming to happen. They prepared their minds, they prepared their souls, they also prepared their hearts. So it was well with them. And that's why you could see even them being called for protests, and they could not get out and go and work and go and protest, because they knew it's a waste of energy. They rather use that energy to support their families, to support their communities and all that. They never wanted to do it. So all these protest thing came up because of the MAGA supporters. And you could see that frustration. Then later on, we see no king protests. Guess who is starting them? Just that MAGA supporter. And so you get to wonder, where were they when, the president himself, pushed the policies before them and, outlined them one by one and told them, this is what I'm going to do when I come into power. I don't know what went in their minds when this was happening. Because if you look at the policies that Trump had, and you can see it is all about his policies. It is all about him being seen as a strong man and, as a powerful leader. It's all about, making, having his policies done and not, having his citizens protected. And I could see even the same MAGA people saying that, was it really about making America great again, or was it about making Argentina great again? Because you see, he gives them the first bailout, and then for the second time he gives them a double bailout. And at this time, the United States is in shutdown. Workers are not getting paid. They need cash, but he gives them a double bailout to support their economy. Listen, we have American farmers who do farm soybeans. In the first place, we have to get to know that America does not consume much soybeans as China does. And so these were their first, and their sole, importers of soybeans. So when this war starts, Argentina takes over their markets and dominates. And that same country, it's the same one that Trump supports. And I could see there was a frustration and a disappointment in the government. MAGA people, they could feel a certain betrayal, especially from the president himself. And that's why you can see them here saying that we are sorry and we do regret our votes. And I do say they better do, because if they don't, then coming next time they'll make the same mistake. For blacks, I do know that, and I also know that that most of black people supported Kamala, and they wanted the very best for everyone, because I believe that government, even if we cannot say it was that perfect, but at least it had, hopes. It gave people hopes that, it will stand for everyone. It will support every person, regardless of where he's coming from, regardless of the color. Okay, these were the hopes. We're not saying that it was that perfect, but it was a little bit different from the current one. And so that's why you see blacks had a certain, trust in it. And that's why most of them, a bunch of them supported it. Now, I always say that don't learn from, just experience, but learn from an analyzed experience. Get to analyze the experience that you've had, and then, get to see the do's and don'ts when that, occasion, comes your way again. So for MAGA supporters, of course, regrets are always there. But my hopes is that they have discovered where they went wrong, and they're going to make the very, very corrections of that same mistakes. I've been your presenter, and I would like to bring it to a close here. If this was your first time, thank you so much for tuning in. And also to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And I'm really hoping to see you in my next video. For now, I'd like to pause it at here. Do like the video, do share the content, do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to tap that notification button that you see down there below, so that you get notified at any time whenever we release any video. And I believe we're going to learn a lot from each other. So make sure also you get to share your views, your thoughts in the comment section so that we can have the conversation ongoing. I believe you're going to learn from each other and, you know, get to see things from different perspectives, not only from one angle, but different dimensions. For now, goodbye, my people. And, you know, remember to take care of yourselves and, you know, extend a hand where it is needed. Goodbye.